Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. We welcome all the Shri Mahants, Kotaris, Tanedars, Samajis, Satsangis, Balasanths, visitors and viewers for this Vaakyaartha Sadhas conducted by Balasanths of Nithyananda Gurukul. Today's topic for Vaakyaartha Sadhas is Mahadeva's love current. Now we'll be chanting the 7th verse of Ishavasya Upanishad. Yasmin sarvani bhutanyatmaiva bhudvijanataha tatra ko mohakashoka ekatvamanupashyataha.
I have a question from today's satsang. What is the exact meaning of Mahadeva's love current? What does Mahadeva's love current mean?
What I feel is the selfless and causeless love of Mahadeva. Like when that old lady was just like making idlis in Madurai, so at that time he just went, and so like that he just like with these leelas he just shows causeless love to everybody. So that's what I think.
Just adding a point to Tattva Maharaj, what I understand is Mahadeva's love current is like Mahadeva constantly showers his love, like his selfless and costless love, like how Tattva Maharaj told, his selfless and costless love. Be it like even when he gave the when he gave Lankapuri to Ravana, and even when he went and ate the idlis what Vandi made, when Vandi made idlis, he was just eating, and even in that space he showered so much of love. And even when Ravana asked for Lankapuri, without a second thought, he just gave the whole thing. So what I understand as Mahadeva's love current is constantly be like whatever you ask, he's just causing and constantly showering his love without giving up on any one of us.
What I understand as love current is like what Mahadeva, even in the worst situations, he is always there for us. He showers his love for us out of his uncompromised compassion and selfless love. For example, Nandanar, he very intensely he wanted to go to Chidambaram, but in those days only if the village head gives permission, they were allowed to go to wherever they wanted to. So in Nandanar's case, the village head did not give him permission. So Nandanar he did not eat for so many days, even if his mother requested, and he fell ill. Even though he was ill, he went and requested the village head. Then he told, there are few acres with only rice grains sprout there, you can go to Chidambaram. Then Nandanar goes and sings a song, and immediately within few seconds the total in the so many acres the rice grains sprout.
So he sings a beautiful song. It is Yenappanallava Yentayumallava Ponnappanallava Ponnambanallava Yenappanallava Yentayumallava Ponnappanallava Ponnambanallava.
And also after when he sings that song, after he sings, he just falls on the floor, and then just by singing the glory of Mahadeva, he just falls on the floor. Then after that, when he wakes up, then Mahadeva does all his leelas, and the whole those many acres of thing will just like that grow, and it will be ready for harvest. Then when he wakes up, then he will see. Then the whole thing, his master will come and then see. That time, after the master will tell, oh great, you are done such a big thing. Then Nandanar will sing, Aye meta kadinam, uma kadime aye meta kadinam. Which means that being your devotee is so difficult. You give us so much of inspiration to be your devotee, and at the same time there is so much of problem also for us to be your devotee. Why are you doing like this? So like this, the Nandanar sings so much, and at one point when he just sings, then he just goes to Chidambaram and merges with the Nataraja inside. So such is the love current of Mahadeva.
And just adding a point, and when Nandanar sang that song also, Mahadeva didn't just take him and merge with him or something like that. He gave him that inspiration, and with that inspiration, Nandanar himself went up to the shrine and emerged with Mahadeva. So from this we can understand Mahadeva's love current is not like just some simple love by taking Nandanar and just merging with him. He makes Nandanar so devoted, and he just pulls Nandanar to the devotee, to the shrine, and he just merges with him.
Can only Mahadeva's love be called as love current?
What I feel is no, because in the satsang Swamiji said that love current of Mahadeva, love current is actually just like flowing. It's like Ganga. It's so complete and it'll just flow. So if we're really in that space of causeless love, then even we can have a love current. That's what I feel.
How will you practice love current?
What I think is just by understanding that whatever happens is just to put you back to the space of completion and just to make you discover your consciousness. It is the love of Mahadeva, and like how Swamiji told, it is the love of the master which turns back as love for the master. So how much like it is, how much ever Swami loves that same love goes inside us, then does whatever needs to be done and completes and comes back as love and gratitude to our master. So the same way it is, all we need to understand is it's love of Mahadeva, that whatever happens puts us back into the space of completion and raises us to the next level and make us discover our consciousness.
Just adding to her point, like today morning Swami was telling in satsang. See, in Calcutta the Ganga will be completely polluted, and in Gangotri it will be so pure, and in middle it will be like half polluted. So though it is polluted or non-polluted, the current flow of Ganga itself is the pure consciousness. Like how Swami told, it is completely pure. So same way, though our love is demanding, or the softy love, or all the love, it is still love from the current, from your inner space. So though if you even try to give a plastic smile to others, though you are angry at the other person, it will lead you to the same, it will lead you to the original love, which is the selfless love.
Okay, but see, I still didn't get one thing. I have a question. Suppose we smile at someone, like plastic smile, but from anger and pure incompletion we smile at them. How will it lead to completion? Because you're doing it from incompletion, right? So won't it lead to more incompletion?
What I think is that even though it is from incompletion, you still decide to smile at the person, right? Even though it may be a plastic smile, you still decide to smile at the person. So that conditional love itself can lead you to the unconditional love.
And also when you smile, that time the completion part of you gets awakened. So when you smile, even if it's unconditional or conditional, it will lead you to the unconditional love.
Adding a point to him, like how Swamiji was telling in the other day in the satsang, he was telling that many, like this we think, like if I laugh at somebody or if I smile at somebody from my incompletion, then it is something wrong. So we need to find out which is that part of us. Like most of us we might feel very hypocritic and all that, and we might stop even smiling at him, and once for all the connection between the other person is lost. But instead, even if you have some incompletion, smiling at that person or sharing some sort of, even if it is a very low level of love, even if you do that, at one point that will itself raise you to unconditional space of love. So what I feel is that than just stopping the conditional love, go ahead with it. That will naturally lead you to the unconditional love of Mahadeva.
Isn't anger an incompletion against life? So when we give a plastic smile out of anger, isn't it decision against life? And how can it lead us to selfless love?
What I feel is, though anger is a decision against life, when you decide to smile at the other person, you feel that you have to complete with the other person, and the completion part of you, like Ajara Maharaj told, the completion part of you gets awakened. So the moment the completion part of you is awakened, you are again deciding for life, which is just your smile. So even that smile can lead you to the selfless love when you know that it's decision for life.
Just adding to what she told, even if you're smiling out of anger, when you smile, the confidence or the completion which you have will you know what Satyamaya told, that your completion part will be awakened. Next time when you are smiling, you will have the confidence of smiling from completion, which will lead you to selfless love.
What is unconditional love?
What I feel as unconditional love is not giving up on somebody and making sure, even if they are giving something wrong to you and don't want to listen, not giving up on them and raising
them to a next level. I just give you an example, a story which Swami told. The Targavana rishis, actually they were proud that they can do anything they want just by their yajna. So what happens is, Shiva actually comes down as Bhikshadana, and actually what happens is, the weak point of the rishis were the possessiveness of their wives. So Shiva will be so beautiful that all the wives will go behind him. Seeing this, all the rishis will really get angry, and even though they know that it is Shiva who is standing in front of them, they'll perform yajna and create weapons like snake and asura and all that, and they use these weapons against Shiva, where Shiva did not get angry at them. He took all of them as his weapons, and in spite of their throwing all that, he was so compassionate, he gave the signs of enlightenment itself to them. So by this, what I understand is, even if they are against him, even if they are against Shiva, he is so compassionate that he still gives the signs of enlightenment to us.
Just adding a point to Madhipa, what I understand is like having unconditional love is like having uncompromised compassion. Like how Mahadeva, whatever we do and how much ever incompletion we have, again and again, the cosmos reincarnates just to comes down to our level and raises us to its own level, the space of completion. So whatever may happen, Mahadeva will never give up on us. Whatever happens, he'll constantly still stand up and make sure that we are complete and raise us to his level. So what I understand as unconditional love is without expecting anything, just giving that uncompromised compassion for us also to experience the same like what he experienced. Like how Swamiji, just for all of us to experience the same, having the Advaita, living Advaita, like how he experienced, he comes down to our level and he every day speaks, gives satsangs and raises all of us to his level. This is what I understand as unconditional love.
I have a question. If love is a quality of consciousness, then do all non-living things and living things have love?
I feel yes. Like from my experience, I have a deity, a small deity of my own. And whenever I speak to them, whenever I relate to the deity, I feel so much of love and so much of happiness to be with them. And even I sometimes seen the deities react by smiling back. Even though the thing doesn't move, it is still filled with the consciousness and it will still radiate back the love if you radiate love towards it.
Just adding to his point, what I feel is yes, because the other day Swami was explaining about the Kamandala, right? So when that time he told, when you see the quality of the objects, you fall in love more and more with the object. So what I feel, obviously when we give that love, they respond back with the same love by helping us in some other way. Because we know the quality of them and they will understand our love, the space of love which we carry.
I have a question. What is uncompromised compassion?
Okay, what I feel is uncompromised compassion is when you love someone so much that you won't be ready to even give up on them. So even though you do something which might seem hard to the other person, you're doing it for their benefit and you're doing it for them to expand more and more. And you don't give up on them.
Why will Tarkavana rishis will get angry?
See, what I feel is that when they saw that all their powers and all that are becoming so much, like once Swamiji told in the satsang that whenever any siddhis and all that express from you, don't just get attached to it and don't feel that I'm going to lose it and all that. When it happens, just leave it to happen. Don't resist it or don't think you're something great, then you lose it. So what happened is, even these Tarkavana rishis started getting arrogant, thinking that they are something great and no gods are required and all that. So that is why Mahadeva had to come down. See, though these Tarkavana rishis attacked Mahadeva, Mahadeva at the end, he only took these Tarkavana rishis and gave them the whole sense of enlightenment. So even in that, Mahadeva, see, even if they are the enemies of Mahadeva, Mahadeva gives them so much of love and compassion. This is what it is.
What is selfless love? What I feel is selfless love is like when you don't have just love towards yourself and just like care about yourself, but actually you have the space of Advaita, that is love to the whole world and expressing the love to the whole world.
I want to share my experience. One day my friend gifted me a Dakshinamurti photo. What happened? Swami was speaking about feeling oneness with everything. That day in Pada Puja time, I was thinking, if I am part of Dakshinamurti, he should respond to me. Then I was seeing only Dakshinamurti photo for half an hour, only seeing his eyes. Suddenly he blinked his eyes. Then I was wondering, why? Suddenly he blinked his eyes. Then okay, no, he's really responding to me. He should smile how I smile. I smiled at him, he also smiled at him. Then I understood that whichever things you are feeling that you are part of that, they also will respond to you.
Just adding to a point, what I feel is if you really have the trust with that thing. See, in an example, she said that she just looked at Dakshinamurti's photo eyes for half an hour. Normally, people just look at it for 10 minutes, and if it's not happening, they'll just leave it. But because of a love and a trust that Dakshinamurti's eyes will blink, that's why it blinked. And when she smiled, the Dakshinamurti's mouth also smiled. So what I feel is if you really have the trust with that thing will just do whatever you want.
Just adding to Vedapriya Maharaj's point, like how just the tremendous trust what Tirunavakara sir had, Mahadeva himself gave darshan, Kailasa darshan from wherever Tirunavakara sir is, just there he came and gave the Kailasa darshan. So having tremendous love, if you just have that, just your very trust will make things happen. Even in the example of Karaikal Ammayar, just the trust she had, she could materialize mangoes. Like what will happen is, Karaikal Ammayar's husband will give her 3 mangoes. So before, like he'll send 3 mangoes, and what will happen is one sadhu will come and ask for mangoes. First she'll give 1 mango, then the sadhu will really like it, then he'll tell I want some more, and Karaikal Ammayar without thinking she'll just give the second mango also. Then once her husband comes back, he'll ask like, I want to eat the mangoes which I sent, give me. So first she'll give the left 1 mango, then he'll eat it and it'll be nice, so husband will ask for 1 more. Then what will happen is, just the trust what Karaikal Ammayar had, she'll go and pray to Mahadeva and she'll materialize a mango will just appear, then she'll come and give it to her husband. Then at that time, this mango will be even more sweeter than the older one. So her husband will ask, how did you get this? Then she'll tell the whole thing, whatever happened, but the husband at first will not believe. He'll tell, if that is real, then materialize 1 more. So again, again not having any self-doubt, she goes back and materializes 1 more. So what I understand from this is, just your tremendous trust can make anything happen.
I have a question. Only when we show love towards things will that react, or they themselves can also show love towards us?
What I think is that naturally everything radiates love, but when we try or start to realize it, we think that expresses love towards us, so this expresses love towards us. But normally everything around us and everything that happens is out of love.
Adding to your point, see, when we understand that the whole cosmos is just embodiment of Mahadeva, is just pure consciousness, then how can something like consciousness put us into the space of incompletion? So basically we just need to understand that everything which happens is only to teach us and evolve us to the next level. So when we have this understanding, we will understand the real love current of Mahadeva in each and every incident which happens in our life. So I want to share an experience regarding this. During the Tamil Nadu trip which we had few months ago with Swamiji, what happened was, it was huge rush, thousands of people gathering for different things. So in the middle while I was going, my phone had dropped off and it got misplaced. So I had no communication, I had to communicate, but I had nothing to do about it. So I was just thinking to Mahadeva that, oh Mahadeva, please somehow do something. Now I have to speak and then I have to communicate. How will I be able to do? So then what happened was, maybe 2 days later, I was continuously telling that Mahadeva, do something, and naturally I was taking responsibility for it by finding out if it was dropped anywhere and all that. Then 2 days later, when I rang the phone, when I called my phone, somebody had picked up and told, yes, I have the phone, I can give it to you. Then the whole situation aligned, everything fell in proper place just within 2 days, and the person from some other place whom I didn't know at all brought the phone and then found out who I was and gave the phone to me and went back to his place. So I understood Mahadeva's love, how much he showers on us. Even if it is such a small thing like a small phone. So I understood that anything it might be, you just trust him, anything you want will just happen. So this was a very strong experience which came into me at that time.
I have a doubt. In the example of Kannappa, according to the story, only after Kannappa plucks out his second eye, Shiva will come out of the linga and tell stop. In that example, how is it love? Because Kannappa already plucked out his second eye.
What I feel is, when Kannappa Nayanar, when Shiva was waiting, like Kannappa Nayanar first gives his first eye, and then Shiva was still waiting, because what I understood from that thing is that Shiva had like full rights over him, like all his compassion was over him. He was like waiting to test how much dedication does he have for me. And the moment, that's why the moment he plucks his second eye, even there also is a possibility where the mind can change. Like even at the moment he's about to pluck the eye and all, there's a possibility for the decision to change. But Shiva was waiting for him. So moment he plucked the second eye, that means there's nothing else, he's just going to keep it. So when Shiva came to know that, he just comes out of the linga to show that he is there for him, to show that Shiva is there for Kannappa Nayanar, and just to show his love. This is what I understood from that thing. So I feel even there, Shiva was completely expressive for his love. He just wanted to show to the whole world how much Kannappa Nayanar has dedication and love towards Mahadeva. This is what I understood.
See, what I feel is like today morning Swami was explaining about the Markandeya, like the Markandeya story and the Kannappa Nayanar story. So then Swami was telling that Mahadeva knows that Mahadeva only sent Yama, and he knows that he can finish off Yama, and he knows that he can protect Markandeya and make him Chiranjeevi. But in Kannappa Nayanar case, he avoids knowing there's an unknown playing there. So he avoids knowing whether Kannappa Nayanar will pluck out the second eye or not. So Swami was explaining, a man who can play with the unknown space, the space of unknown, can explore more and more in love. So Mahadeva was like Swami explained us, Mahadeva himself had a blood pressure at that time, because even he doesn't know what is going to happen there. So his love was there just to protect him even in the space of unknown. So that made Kannappa Nayanar as the father of Mahadeva himself.
I have a question. In Chettinadu, when Dhyana made rain happen, is even Mahadeva carried that space of love?
What I feel is Mahadeva is always carrying a space of love. That's why so many of us are here now, and because Swamiji is Mahadeva, and till now he's not giving up on us, and he's just radiating them, he's the embodiment of love. So what I feel is Mahadeva is always in the space of love.
See, I just want to share a small story. Like once there was a person who always wanted something from God. So once he goes to God and asks a boon from God, that wherever he goes, along with him, God should walk. So then every time he'll be going, he'll see another pair of footprints just beside him. So he'll continue walking and all that. But whenever he had a problem, when he looked down, there will be only one footprint, means one pair of footprints going. So he'll notice this many times, and he'll really get very annoyed on this and go and tell Mahadeva, what is this? Why are you doing like this? Whenever I have a problem, it's only one footstep, one pair of footprint there. But when I'm normal, I have two footprint. Then Mahadeva will tell that, no, it is not like that. Whenever you have a problem, I am carrying you and walking. So it is my footprints only there, not your footprints.
So I just want to share my Mahadeva's Leela in my life. See, before coming to Gurukul, I used to join with all those bad peoples, and they used to abuse Swamiji, and they used to gossip and all. So for joining with them, I will not wear any malas, any kapu. I just gave up. I was still praying in the house, but I will not wear anything outside. So when I was like that, in 2012, December, there was a Kalpadaru in cruise. I went to cruise. I went there, and after Kalpadaru, Kalpadaru was there. And Swamiji asked what you want. And just in the sake of asking something, I just asked him out of my selfish love, I want to come to Gurukul. But actually inside me, I really don't want to come to Gurukul. For me, I'll die if I go there. I felt like that. So I just out of my selfish love, I just asked Swamiji, I want to come to Gurukul. And Swamiji blessed. And after that, in a few months, I really don't know. Really, I don't want to come to Gurukul. this only Swamiji made me to come to Gurukul. After that, I realized even though I didn't stand up for anything, I didn't stand up for Swamiji, but still he flows the love current on me, and he made me now. I can realize that he made me. I am Mahadeva. After going out of the Gurukul, I will be Mahadeva. So out of this, I decided that I will show that same love Swami showed to me. I show to everyone, and I also live what Swamiji said.
Why will Mahadeva send Yama to kill Markandeya?
What I feel is, see, just for showing the love of current, he just makes a leela to happen, and even in that leela he says, even I love you. So this is what he tries to say in that leela.
See, it is like how Dhyana Maharaj told, where Swamiji comes and then just tries to test him whether he is really able to do it. So like that, even in Markandeya's story, like Mahadeva himself comes and tests Markandeya of his real love and compassion and devotion towards Mahadeva.
Okay, I have a question. If only we start loving things and people will we experience Advaita?
What I feel is yes, because Advaita is knowing that you're Shiva and everyone is part of you and everyone is just an extension of you. So only when you start loving people, you'll realize that. If you keep fighting with people, or if you keep on going into incompletion with people, then it'll take more time for you to realize that you're Shiva.
What I think is that when you experience that unconditional love towards a person, you'll naturally feel like they are part of you and you're a part of them. So then you'll naturally experience Advaita with that person.
Like how Swamiji told in the satsang, love is so powerful and it is the stepping stone for living Advaita.
Can someone explain what is Siranjeevi?
See, Siranjeevi is the space of immortality.
See, because like, see, if suddenly Mahadeva comes and tells you that you are Mahadeva and wake up and be enlightened, at that very instance, first thing, like, you'll have your own self-doubt and your SDHD, which will stop you from getting enlightened. Because you yourself will like, am I Mahadeva? Even if Swami comes and tells you that, no, you are Mahadeva, immediately get up and get enlightened. You are Mahadeva and you can also be like Swamiji. But at that instance, your own self-doubt, you'll immediately get like, am I Mahadeva? Is whatever Swami telling true? Am I qualified to be Mahadeva? That is why Swamiji himself has to come down to our level and tell, yes, if you are Mahadeva, that is why you are able to complete, you can complete, you can have Vaksiddhi and all that, and he slowly raises us to his own level. So what I understand is, Mahadeva comes down to break all our SDHD and take us to his level, to just show us the way of possibility.
And also adding a point, now, like only Mahadeva can come to our level. We can never go to Mahadeva's level. So like Swamiji told, only Shiva can come to Aham. Aham can never go to Shivoham. So to experience Shivoham, only Shiva has to come to Aham.
See, what I feel is, the words which Mahadeva uttered is from the space of reality, but you're still in the space of perception. So you still have some self-doubt about ourselves. So if Swamiji tells us that you are Shiva, then we'll have self-doubt whether if I'm really Shiva, then why is this going to happen? Why is that going to happen? So you'll have self-doubt. So that's why Shiva has to come to our level, and Shiva has to give us methods like completion and sitting with a mirror and completing with yourself. So that's why Shiva has to come to our level to give us methods like this to raise us to his level.
And also the space which Swamiji is in, he is always radiating that unconditional love. And when he's radiating that, we can't really see that and raise up to his level. Only when he comes down and makes us happy by giving us chickies or something like that, then only we can understand his love and he'll raise us to the unconditional love.
Adding to his point, what I think it's basically like Mahadeva, Isha, coming down as Ishvara, taking a form and coming down as Ishvara, and raising us to the space of Isha.
And I have a story. Once upon a time in Madurai, one great singer will come. He will come to the Pandya king and he will say, he will come and the king will welcome him. Then after that they all go and the king will announce, today this singer will sing for us and we will all enjoy it. Then the singer will start singing. Then after the song get over, then the king will go for giving some gift. Then he will go and give the gift, but the singer who came and sang, he will say, I don't want all this gift, I want your kingdom. Then king will say,
give us one day time, I will get back to the same place. Then after they all go, then king will go and he'll call all the people in the Madurai who will sing, who great poets. Then they all will come and they all will say, we cannot we cannot have competition with him. He is a great singer. Then king will say, you guys also saying what will happen to our Madurai. Then near to king, then king minister, he will say, in our Madurai we have a great singer. He sings devotional songs to Mahadeva. Then the minister will say, devotion can beat the egoistic. He will say something like that. And the minister will go call the singer, devotional singer, and he will come to the king and he will say, even I cannot beat him because his raga is really great and I don't know all these ragas. Then king will say 0. If you are also giving up, who will raise our Madurai and who will save our Madurai? Then king will give the command and he will go off. Then the devotional singer, then he will go to temple and he will start singing on Mahadeva. He will start praying, how can I win him? And he will start singing song. Then Mahadeva will come to Madurai as wood seller. He will come and he will show all his leelas. Then he will go to the place where the singer, the other singer who proves himself he is so great, is the world famous singer. He'll go and sit in this place and Mahadeva will go and he'll just lie down. He'll just lie down and start singing song. Then after the Mahadeva sings songs, the singer will come down and see who sang the song. Then Mahadeva will say, I just blabbered. Then the singer will say, what do you say? This is not blabbering. This is the great song which I have not even heard. And he will say, then the singer will ask to Mahadeva, who taught you this singing? Then he will say, I have learned from the person who sings, devotional singer, who has taught me. I went to him at the age of some small age, and he will say, I just, whatever he sings, I'll just listen and I'll just blabber everywhere. Then he will say, then after that he will be terrorized. And if he himself is devotee, is in small age, who is blabbering, he himself is making this kind of person like this, then what will happen to me? Then after that he will go, and that person who proves, he comes and he will say, all is disabled, means he has his own disciples who are fat fellows, and he will come, he will say, he'll call all of them and he'll kick them out. He'll call all of them and kick them out. We have to, by today morning, we have to kick them. We have to go out of Madurai. Then they all run out. And Mahadeva will go back to his linga form. That is what I feel as love current.
Can you explain me what is love?
Like how Tattvajnana gave a story where Shiva comes down and Shiva can just come and just scold and go away. But he came and he sang and he went. So this, I feel in this, instead of scolding them, is just in the love. It just shows the love to everyone.
Okay, I have a question. See, if you're incomplete with someone, does that mean you stopped loving them? Because yesterday we discussed that love is what? When we have Advaita with others, when we're complete with others, and we want to share everything with others. So if you're incomplete with them, does that mean you don't love them?
What I think is that when we're incomplete with a person, because everything, whatever happens around us or whoever or whatever is around us is basically just, it all shows our love towards us. When we realize that, we have love towards that also. So what I think is when we are incomplete with someone or something, that we still love that person, but at that moment we think we don't love that person. But when we realize that incompletion is just nothing and we become complete again, we realize we were always in love with that thing or person.
I have a question. Today in Satsang Swami was telling that even demand the love which is demanding, the demanding love can also lead us to the unconditional love, the selfless love, right? So I have a doubt. See, if the one person is demanding love from he's showing a love in a demanding way, the person who's getting the demanded love, how will he feel complete? Because that point of time, he will avoid feeling complete with the other person, right? Because he's just the love is so demandative.
What I feel is at that point of time, that person who's getting an undemanded love, as you told, like he'll be incomplete about it. But as the time processes and the person doesn't give up on that person and continues to demand more and more, but from completion and love, the person will understand that it's all for his own expansion.
But at that point of time, the person who's getting the demanded love will not realize that's love, right? He'll only feel it's an incompletion.
See, what I feel is that, like, even if you take in your own life example, even if somebody demands love from you or something like that, it is much better than they're not speaking to you or not relating to you at all. See, even if that brings some sort of demand and all that from you, later you think that why is that person demanding such things from me? Why is he smiling at me and all that? But if there is not even a smile, not even anything, then there is not even a beginning for that love to happen. So what I feel is that even the demanding, even if it brings some sort of feeling in them, like why are they doing this and puts them into incompletion, they will think about it and again complete with it, is what I feel. It is much better than not at all relating with them.
Okay, I have a story where Mahadeva shows his Leela. Once there will be a husband and wife, they will be in a temple and taking care of the temple and doing everyday Abhishekam for it. One day what will happen, they will do Abhishekam, after that they will do the puja and the husband will put the flower for the Shivalinga. After that, this wife will ask, anyway you finish the puja, you can take that flower and give it to me so I can keep it in the head. Then the husband will say that, no, if the king and come and ask, I should give him as prasadam. Then what will happen? She will tell, you are unable to even give this to your wife, then he will take it and give it. Then after that they will close the temple and both of them go to their house. Then after that the minister will run and come and say that king is calling, king is calling. Then that husband will say, now what should I do? There is zero prasadam in the temple. Now they will think that I did not do puja. What should I do? Then that wife will remove the flower from her head and give that. Go give this itself. Then he will hide that inside his cloth and go to the temple, open the temple, keep that same flower which she kept in her head to Shivalinga and take it and come and give it to the king. When the king got that flower, in that hairs will, by mistake, that husband forgot to take out the hair, so the hairs will be there. Then he will ask, the king will ask, will Shivalinga have that kudumi in his hair? Then the king, that husband will say, yes, he have. Then the king will be surprised. What are you saying? Okay, I will go and check inside. Then that husband will say, first you should wash your legs and go inside. Then he avoid knowing what to do now. Then he'll be like, what should I do? What should I do? Then he will tell, Shiva, you should take care of this. Then he'll just tell, Namah Shivaya, you will take care of this. Then from Mahadeva, from his Kailash, he will just take some hair and just throw it, and it will go back of the Shivalinga and just stick it there. The hair will there in the Shivalinga will have the hair. When the king enters inside the Garbha Mandir, he will find the hair in back of the Shivalinga. Then he will be, what the great love he have towards Mahadeva. Even Mahadeva sent his own hair as Kudimi back of the Shivalinga. Then from this, even though you do some mistake, Mahadeva, he will still loves you, so he gives hair to the Shivalinga.
I have a question now. Like, you have a if there's a Dusanga, should you love them also?
Just adding to his point, what do you mean demanding love?
See, what I feel is that when you start loving things around you, naturally there will be no Dusanga around you at all. Naturally things around you will get into a space of completion. See, because love is a quality of Ishvara, so if that is the way it is going to be, then anything which is a quality of Ishvara can never put you into the space of incompletion or anything like that. It will always make you only more and more complete. So what I feel is, any sort of love which starts in you, if you continue with it, then naturally it will put you in the space of Satsanga only. It will not lead you to Dusanga.
I have a question. I still don't understand how can selfish love lead us to selfless love? Because when we give a plastic smile to somebody, isn't it out of hypocrisy? How can it lead us to selfless love?
See, like Swamiji said, even when you give a plastic smile to someone, it's a start. It's better than not even looking at them. And Swami asked, how can you get your work done without even smiling at people and being friendly? So it starts off with you smiling at them, even if it's from hypocrisy or anger. And even if it is from hypocrisy and anger, it will end up in completion and it will lead to selfless love. So smiling out of hypocrisy and anger, like Swami said, it's better than not even smiling at them and being all serious all the time.
And just adding a point, the demanding love, when it comes from somebody, first it comes from the completion. After that, they realize that it's an incompletion only. But still, when they want that love from someone, even when they demand it, first they'll feel that it's completion. Even after they realize it's incompletion, they'll still hold on to that love. Because that love has done something great to their life. So that will automatically lead them to selfless love.
Does that mean that even decisions against life can lead us to decisions for life?
See, what I feel is even when you give us plastic smile, it's not something against life. You're just like what Swami told, like wearing the mask of Mahadeva. Just out of some simply, you're just wearing the mask of Mahadeva, but still Mahadeva fills you like that. Even if you give us plastic smile, even then you just try to show love, but even then love will fill you at some point.
See, what I feel is that your decision against life will come only when you don't love anybody. See, the moment you even love for some particular reason, as he told, like for just getting your work done or something like that, even then it is like you deciding for life only. It is never deciding against life. Because you have taken, okay, then, see, there are many people who don't want to do anything at all. They are just roaming around lazily. Those people don't even have this attitude of love and all that. But a person who is like, yes, I want to make this happen. If I have to get this thing to happen, then let me show some love towards that person. Even if that is the attitude, then he's deciding for life because he's wanting to take responsibility. So what I feel is that the moment you show love to anything or anybody at all, there is only deciding for life. There is no deciding against life.
What is aham?
What I feel is aham is the identity you have about yourself, and like Swami said, that directly can't become Shivaham. Only Shiva has to come and break that identity and make you realize you're Shiva.
I have a question. I still didn't understand how demanding love from other person will make the other person complete or love them back.
What I feel is at some point you'll feel that demanding love is also like a bondage, and you'll not really think that demanding love is expanding you. So at that point when you feel that, automatically you switch from demanding love to the real love.
And can you please give an experience from your life?
Just today morning, one of my friends asked me, he just told me that you don't take any responsibility and you just don't care for things and everything. Then I felt like that is not helping me anyway. Like that is just making me sad, but it's not anyway helping me. But then he told that whatever he does will be to help me, but I didn't feel that at all. I felt that never completed me. So this is the practical example.
Okay, see what I understand is it is still not out of, see, because even your friend is even seeing you as a possibility only, that friend is even coming and telling you that you are like, he still feels that you have a possibility to take responsibility. That is why he even comes and tells you and reminds you that you're like, here is where you're falling down and here is where you're being irresponsible. So for you to restore out of that love only, even your friend comes and tells you. So what I understand is it is still the space of uncompromised compassion, and it is still the space of love from which the friend comes and tells you. So even though the love is demanding, once you start taking responsibility, you will remember like, yes, like what my friend told is right. So that time, like if you really restore when your friend remains, that time you'll realize that whatever happens is just to put you back to the space of completion. So it is still the demanding love which leads you to the selfless love and uncompromised compassion.
Want to add a point? See, it's not just about whether he's your friend or it's anything. As Swamiji told, anything around you is just a reflection of you. And anything which people tell is only because there is some part of incompletion in you which is coming out through others for you to accept and complete it. But when you tell that your friend was telling that you don't take responsibility for anything and all that, instead of just falling into the incompletion, but finding out where is that person is feeling that incompletion, why is he telling that? See, because your friend, see, a friend itself is a person who is only going to make you more and more enriched. So what I feel is that you need to really figure out what is that incompletion which is there and stand up for it.
Okay, I have a question. I still didn't understand how love is deciding for life, because any action done from the right context is only deciding for life. In this case, when you love anyone, it can be from any context, it leads to the right understanding and the right love. So in that case, is having love without any context also deciding for life? Because only the decisions you make out of the right context is deciding for life, right?
Look, what I understand is, first of all, the ultimate purpose for everybody is to discover your consciousness. And love is a quality of your consciousness. So whenever you decide to love somebody, love the people around you, it's like you expressing one of your qualities of your consciousness. So it's obviously deciding for life, right?
Just adding to the point, see, I'm taking from my experience, when I told that in 2012 I went to Swamiji and Kalpudha, just in the sake of asking question for my parents, but I really don't want it. I just asked out of my selfish love. Even though I asked it from in a wrong context, but from out of my selfish love, still he lead me till I come to Gurukul. Only the question which I asked and Swamiji give Tadastu for it, only that lead me to this. So even though if you had the wrong context or the selfish love, still it will lead to the real love.
What I think is that you don't really need a context to have love towards something. When you experience that love itself, that love will take you to a higher space and you'll experience a consciousness.
I have a question. In Simply Nirvana, Swamiji says that someone will ask, who's your enemy? Swami will tell, your first friend is your enemy. And then he'll tell, who is your friend? And then they will ask. Then Swamiji will tell, the first friend is your enemy. Then Swami will tell, the first enemy is your friend. How it can?
What I understand is the context from which Swami would have told it. See, like Swami just listens to our questions and he comes to our space, and as per our understanding he tells. So what I understand is it is out of the context which Swamiji told, you have to understand.
With this, we come to the conclusion of today's Vaakyaartha Sadhas. We will continue exploring into these deeper truths of what Swamiji speaks in the morning Upanishad Satsangs. With this, we will conclude with the Purna Mantra.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sadguru Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.